when it comes to Tyrone Lucas, this interview was probably super duper powerful. And it may go over some people's heads what he was saying. But when he said this about Aaron right here at the 2 minute mark, because this is what Aaron has become.
You film for the filming of superhero content. The sole purpose of a superhero is to be selfless. And here you are, selfish.
That part right there, that is going to sting. And a lot of people reached out to me because what people don't know is Tyrone has been playing superheroes for a good portion of his life. In fact, him playing superheroes actually at one point was paying the bills. You like, wait, how can he be a superhero and pay the bills? Because he was working at places like Universal Studios. I'm trying to find it where it's hard because it's only in there for like a blip. So what he would do is dress up as a superhero, but not only did he dress up as one, he embodied the character or whatever. And that's pretty powerful. So when you say, hey, I want you to be, he was Robin here. Here's actually Kevin Porter in a play a superhero in my production. Naturally, he was going to be like, yes, sure, no problem. I would love to do it considering I've been doing it already. And it, come as no surprise. But his interview was so powerful. And a lot of people don't know that, no, he really embodies it. There's him as Spider-Man. There's Kevin Porter as Dr. Doom. But unfortunately, Aaron Schnoeke, replaced him. Even though if you go, let's see, right where he talks about how
insane is like, yeah, heck yeah, he would, and so here we are,
Okay.
But for the conception, I'll say this: Bad in the Sun may or may not be as big as they are if it was not for me introducing Aaron and Kevin.
Wow, there it is, guys. That is the Kevin Porter Aaron Schnoeke origin story. See, right here, he's the one who made the connection. He's the one that put Aaron in a room with Kevin. And guess what? What happened? Tyrone out, Kevin in, Kevin's the future, Aaron's the future. And this is the backstory. This is these little origin stories that gets slept on. So when you have a powerful interview and Tyrone pretty much calling Aaron out for one, replacing him and not having a conversation with him like a man, like man to man, and not just replacing him in like some like, oh my goodness, I'm getting replaced. He used his suit to do it. This is disrespectful. And there's footage of Aaron out there in the suit. Maybe we could look on it, touch on it later. But yeah, that's what happened. But the point I'm trying to make is Tyrone and Aaron are cut from two different cloths. All right. Tyrone actually, the conviction behind his words, where he's like, oh no, I'm a family man. Yes. I live by what I say. I live what I preach. Yes, he's flawed. He's made mistakes. None quite as big as Aaron. But there's some conviction. He holds that superhero mantra up to a higher standard where Aaron is just trying to monetize it. He's trying to capitalize on all the fandom that looks to superheroes for inspiration and hope. Whereas Tyrone is like, no, I was just doing it because that's just, ingrained in who I am. And unfortunately, that desire for Aaron to, I don't know, pursue his passion of being popular, cut him out the role. Not only did he cut him out, took the suit. And, as Tyrone said, if you watch the interview, hasn't heard from him since. But what Aaron also did is really unfortunate. This clip right here, and Tyrone will fall into this clip. As you know, that Aaron is literally, as I pointed out, leaning heavily on the Legend of the White Dragon cast. And the reason being is because no one else is coming back through that door. And Jason David Frank pointed out in 2019 that Aaron has run out of favors. No one wants to work with him. And he said, hey, this is the truth. I'm telling you the truth. No one wants to work with him. Let's hear the favors. He has run out of people to ask to work for him for the friend rate.
Interesting about Aaron is the budget gets higher and higher. Do you know why? Because he's running out of favors. That's why. If you can shoot and say, well, I can shoot this for X amount, but nobody wants to work because he's running out of favors. And people don't want to work with him. That is the truth.
His Deadpool greatest hit. You see, hey, you got Jason David Frank back in 2019 saying, hey, people don't want to work with him. And Aaron will say, well, you know, Jenna worked with me. Jason continued to work with me. Unfortunately, Jason, there's audio out there where Jason says, hey, financially couldn't afford to separate from Aaron. And the point I'm trying to make, let's bring it back to Tyrone. Let's bring it back. If Tyrone would have never been cut out, he may still would have been part of the Bat and the Sun family. Still, I don't know. I can't see a person like Tyrone and modern day Aaron getting along too well. I just don't see it. So when I interviewed Tyrone, I was extremely gracious for his honesty, for his brutal honesty, for his viewpoint on, hey, what the superhero genre should be about. And the fact that he's, he's been doing it for over 20 years. You could say he mastered it, but unfortunately, when Aaron chose to replace him, not only did he replace him, but he took some from Tyrone. He took the role that Tyrone loved doing, that he thought it was going to be a future with. He took that from him. And he also took Tyrone's ability to work with Kevin Porter, because they enjoyed the whole Nightwing Batman dynamic. But I do want to say this was one of the best interviews, and I have several more coming up in store. And I appreciate his honesty and candor, really, because he was like, hey, look, man, I'm not here to say, who need to come forward or who don't, but this is part of what goes on in Hollywood. People like Aaron exist. And there are more Aarons out there, and the only way you guys would bring people like Aaron to justice is by speaking up. But hopefully you guys went out, watch that video, like it, subscribe, and I'll see you next one. Peace.